Hello, hello. Welcome back to a little bit of Make and Break. You might be looking at your screens and saying, what the heck are we doing? Longtime fans might recognize this. I am going to be making today a little character. A little stumpy boy with a bird skull inside. I tried making this a long time ago before I understood like retopoing and subsurfacing and a lot of stuff that I know now. And I just tried to make this work and I couldn't make it work. So we know a lot more now. I especially know how I'm going to be doing the materials for this. So I'm feeling confident. I'm feeling pretty confident that I know how to do this. But we'll see. You know, stream has a way of sort of getting away from us. So we're going to make a little stumpy boy today. That is the goal. So not too much else to say about it. I'm just going to jump straight in and we'll get going. Let me go ahead and throw on a little bit of music and we'll see how we feel. A little bit of Persona, I think. Or no, Trauma Center ER. Okay. So when I think of a little stumpy boy, what do we want to start with? I think we just want to start with a cylinder. I think we're just going to start with a nice, calm little cylinder. And now I got to ask myself, do I want to continue the trend of... Do I want to continue my method of brain? My brain's gone. Do I want to poly edit this or do I want to sculpt it? I think I want to sculpt it. I think I'm going to sculpt this. Should I not sculpt it? What would be the problem with sculpting it? I think we're going to sculpt it. I think I'm just going to sculpt it. What's the worst that could happen? The more I think about it, the more I do not want to sculpt it. We're going to try poly editing it first. Let's do that real quick. So, I'm going to go ahead and just do little tiny mutations to this thing just to get it feeling a certain kind of way, and we're going to get going. So, what we want is little tendrily roots coming out, and I'm going to want to put on a subdivision so I can see what it looks like when it's actually good. Okay, so we got little tendrily bits coming out, and I'm going to round them out. I will sculpt that later, but I think we want to be careful not to sculpt too much here. Sculpting too much might have a pretty bad interaction for us. Hello? Don't do that. Alright, so we got that. Let's go ahead and pop this guy on into here. Now what are we up to? We're going to go ahead and just push out little bits and bobs all over the place. Nothing too crazy. In fact, I think I can go ahead and remove that while we're here. And we're just going to pop out some little bits. The better way that I should have done this... You know what? There's a better way that I should have done this. I didn't think. Didn't use my brain today. The brain has yet to turn on this day. Okay, so we're going to do that. And I'm going to actually lower this down just a little bit. What do we want? GZ? There we go. What's up, Beryl? Beryl, how have you been? I haven't heard much from you lately. I saw your sketch that you posted a little while ago, but besides that, how you been? How's life treating you? There we go. We'll pop that guy on down, and we'll just start pushing. So we're just making little bits and bobs. I'm going to sit here and mess with this later, but just bits and bobs for the time being. Just little bits and bobs. Working off of normals is probably going to be the most important thing for me right now, so I'm going to try my best to work off of as many normals as possible. That's X somehow? I don't know why that was X, but sure, that's X. And we're just going to push off as much of this as we can. It's already starting to look not great, in my opinion. But I think we can do a lot of work in sculpting once we get to it. So I'm not going to stress the details too much yet. We're going to let the details stress themselves for a bit. I'm not going to worry. I'm definitely not going to worry is what I'm going to do. Key into me worrying in a couple hours. Okay. So, we got all of that nice and out. Now for this one, I think we're going to want to do something a little crazier. Like that. Get some bigger sort of guys going on in here. Been working on the Thorns Mountains with some friends over the week. Access to the net was purposefully rather scarce. Oh, you've been on the mountains. That's awesome. Is there any significance to those mountains, or what brought you there? Is it just nearby? Tree. Yeah, we got a little tree, CQDK. CQDK, you might have been here for the original version of this. Did you see the original of this, where we had the skull inside of the tree? I feel like you were there. Nope. Okay, well, this will be a first one for everybody then. Okay, so we got ourselves a little bit of a stump. Tell you what, I want to move these two. They're kind of in my way. Get out of there. So, we got a little stump beginning. We're going to do... This next part's going to be a little complicated now, isn't it? If I want to make sure that everything stays symmetrical, I got to be very careful with how I do this. So let's come into here. We're going to make the outer edge of the bark real quick. And I want to make that little spiky bit. So we're going to make this little spiky guy, and we're also going to put the notch in here. There's no reason not to do the notch, so we're going to do the notch. Let's go ahead and take these two. Do a little bit of that. Not quite that, maybe like there. And then I can grab this guy and merge him at last. And pull this guy back using normals. Oh no, the normals are pretty bad looking. Hey, thank you, CQDK. CQDK, how's your art been lately? What have you been up to? Life treating you all right? Okay, so I'm not sure if I understand what the heck I'm even doing right now. There we go. That should be a little bit better. Is that what a little notch in this thing looks like? I'm having a hard time picturing this. It looks fine. It doesn't look great. The fact that it'd be rounded is a little weird to me. I made something but had a terrible weekend. Oh no, what happened? What went wrong with your weekend? Nothing too crazy? Like what's going on? What's bad? You know what? I know exactly what I've done wrong. I gotta merge these two. That's gonna make a world of difference for us, I think. Just like that, and we're gonna say that that looks terrible. Auto-normaling I don't think is going to fix this. I did fix it. Grandpa? Oh no. That is a pretty terrible weekend, it sounds like. Are you doing okay now, or are you just sort of decompressing from it, or how are you doing? Is everything okay? All right. That's going to be my little notch, I think. I think that's as good as I can get that looking. I might even want to take this. You're okay? Good. You seem very resilient. Nothing you can't handle. I think death is a very scary thing. It just, it requires a lot of considering of how the world works and, just getting comfortable with something that's uncomfortable to begin with. Nobody likes death. It's just a no fun thing that happens in the world. All right, let's pop that on over. I'm going to make it just a little bit weirdly asymmetrical. That's a pretty good looking little crick right there. You did know it was going to happen soon? Okay, well, I mean, that's just how it is. Hopefully it was for the best. Hopefully, it was his time and he just had to go. The tallest mount in Chechia, Snaiska, wow, I cannot pronounce any of these words, I apologize, is there. Other than that, it's just an area with a lot of nature, generally a hot spot for tourists who are not afraid to get their boots dirty. Beryl. Beryl, it sounds like you and Simo would get along really well. Simo would never admit it, because Simo's a tough cookie. It's my favorite thing about Simo. But you and Simo would go on a hike and have great conversation, I imagine. You know what? I want this a little bit off-center. Every time I talk about Simo, I'm hoping Simo joins chat. Every single time. I'm hoping he's just here, just hanging out. Me relying on people to be in chat is probably not the nicest thing that I do. Yep, there we go. There's Simo. I love that. Yeah, nice hikes. Hikes are great. Hey, Simo. In case you didn't know, I was talking about you. As per the norm. When am I not talking about you? No, we're going to want to keep that just as is. That looks alright. We're going to sculpt out these little tendrils and make them look a little bit realer. But let's focus instead on the little tree bark first. So I'm going to go ahead and grab all of this. You were lurking? That's okay. I didn't mean to pull you out of your lurk. You can go back to lurking. I was just being annoying. As I do. You really want to try hiking? Have you never been hiking before? Hiking is a luxury. No. What? You've never been hiking? That seems so up your alley. Go hiking. Go demand your family take you hiking. Say, hey, some dude on the internet demands that I go hiking. Okay, so when you're saying hiking, how are you defining hiking? That's probably a good question here. Is hiking to you like a big giant thing, or are you just talking about like going for a walk out in nature? Because like clearly you've gone for a walk out in nature. Unless you live in like a huge city, that's just like by default. Both? You've never just taken a walk out in nature? I feel like that's just normal. Everyone's done that. There we go. We're going to do that. And then I'm going to take it upon myself to loop all of this in and remove our crease on here. That's all right. That's not a terrible looking thing. I have been walking in nature. I mean, that's technically a hike. Really love big trees. I also really like big trees. Trees are wonderful. As the stream might indicate, I like trees. Okay. Now, it looks a little too artificial for me, but it's getting there. We're going to do the rest of the work, I think, in Sculpt. So let me just finish off the shape here, and then we'll call it. Trees are bae, for sure. If you're not in love with a tree, life has already passed you by. If you don't have a favorite tree somewhere, it's over. Your life is done. You're forfeit. There we go. That's going to be our little bits and bobs that come up here. I don't know why it would even look like that. Doesn't really make sense to me. You got a favorite tree? I also have a favorite tree. I have a tree in my normal hiking trail that I call the Great Deku Tree, because he looks just like the Great Deku Tree. He's a real cutie. I love that boy to death. Do we want to do this? I think we might want to just do this. I think we're just gonna do this. You know what would be a better way to do this? If I just auto-merge down. But I'm already this far into the process that I'm just going to finish it. I'm just going to finish it. There's no reason, because if I auto-merge, it might do, like, average and stuff, and I'm sure there's a way to stop that, but I don't know how. So I'm not going to stress it. Don't stress the technique, as they say. I got a tree in front of my school, and I just love that tree. What's so special about that tree? Why that tree? What's the good thing about that tree for everybody to know? Okay, there we go. That's a little ridge for us. There we go. That comes up a little bit higher than we were expecting, but not terrible. We'll round all of that out later. It's hard to climb, and it's got pretty red leaves. I love that. Gotta say, I kind of love that. There we go. There we go. That looks so much better. Okay, cool. Now we got ourselves a tree. That is a tree. Okay, so now the question is, we have to build a hole in here to stick the skull in. And I gotta make a little leaf that comes off. How are we gonna do this? Okay, let's pop in, let's make the hole first. The thing that's been going well for me in 3D modeling lately, the reason why I've been doing better than usual is I'm not getting caught up in little tiny details. So let's take that to heart, and let's not get caught up in little tiny details. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and make a nice little hole to stick all of that in. Ooh, I was about to hard call that we were about to listen to some Sonic. I am glad I didn't make that call. I was like, for sure we're about to get Sonic. Maybe I don't want to do it like this. You know what? Let's not do this. We're going to make a little extra geometry, but I can fix the geometry later. I'm not concerned with geometry at all at this point in time. So we're going to GG that guy on up. We're going to go ahead and bring these guys global. Go back to normal. Music makes you think of DDLC. What is DDLC? The 2080 rule. Okay, what's the 2080 rule? I know about the 2080 rule when it comes to economics. I don't know how that applies here. So how does the 2080 rule apply in this context right here? Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to make a nice little hole all the way into the back of this guy. And I'm going to do another hole right, come on, right up here. And we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a circle on that one. Okay, that looks not good. Hey, that looks not good at all. So let's not do it like this. We'll make that one the same size so we can make a little hole for it to stick into. Doki Doki Literature Club. Gotcha. I never played Doki Doki Literature Club, but I did watch enough people to get the general idea. In art, however, I believe it's the basics like perspective composition. The big stuff that takes about 20% of the time is the most important. The big stuff that takes up about 20% of the time is the most important? What does that mean? What do you mean by that? Okay, that's a good little wooded hollow. The problem is my auto normals are not set up correctly for this. Now they're good. There we go. Make sure everything else looks good. This guy's got some issues. But I'm not too worried about him. He's actually looking just fine. He'll be fine. I just love watching people finding the storylines. Yeah. It's a weird game for sure. Detail takes like 80% of the time, but detail is often unimportant and the base is more important. That's kind of like the basis of low poly workflow, right? Like, you just emphasize the cleanest lines you can and you just move on. The more I work, the more I'm like, I definitely like mid-poly. I'm a mid-poly guy. I like mid-poly a lot. But I'm like, low poly is lovely. Like, I would be doing low poly if I didn't care about things. Okay, so we got ourselves a little boy. That's way too big. It looks like Tangela. The Pokemon Tangela. Okay, we got ourselves just a little boy here. My school just got some 3D printers. Yo, what kind of school are you going to? Your school has 3D printers? My college didn't even have 3D printers that we could use. And I went to the biggest college in the US. What? Alright, let's go ahead and do a little bit of rotating. Hello? Okay, chill. Okay, we got that looking good. And then this guy is going to be good. Just a small school. 3D printers are more common nowadays. You got it. I feel like I didn't graduate that long ago, but it's like getting to be about 5 years ago. Which, the more I think about that, the more my brain kind of tweaks out a little bit. That's a scary number. To think that I graduated about 5 years ago. Kinda hate that one. Kinda really don't like that number. Okay, tell you what, we're gonna grab you. You need to be moved just a little bit. Okay, and now we're gonna grab you and reduce you down a little bit, and then where you should be good to go. We had mini 3D printers. The mechanical engineers built them. I love that. That is very cool. So I'm assuming they were faulty and weird, right? You really want to try 3D printing? 3D printing is one of those things where it's like, it's really cool, but I'm like, what do people do with this? Like, what's the point? Like, most 3D printed stuff, I don't know, just doesn't seem worth it in my opinion. Not that it's not fun. Like, if things are for fun, that's awesome. Prototyping? Yeah, but like a normal person isn't prototyping. I'm with you. Like, they're good for businesses. A trophy? Okay, that's not a bad answer. I just like, if I'm looking at my house and I'm like, what am I going to 3D print? I would maybe print the little pieces that go into my washing machine that break once a year, because I have this little ring that breaks once a year in my washing machine. Sculpting figurines in Blender and printing them. Yeah, but then you got to do like the heat shrinking stuff to make them round. Like, it's just, nothing's like perfect in 3D printing. I don't know. Not that perfect is required, but you want to 3D print my blue worm? Yeah. 3D print your worm. I mean, you have it at the school. You might as well take advantage of it. Okay, we're gonna do the rest of that in edit. So that should be fine. It doesn't look great, but it looks fine. Okay, and there's a little dimple on here. Let's get that dimple looking good. That's going to be kind of huge for us. So I'm going to go ahead and do just a little bit of an intrusion right here. We'll go ahead and do a little GG on down to that. Little GG on up to here. And we'll go ahead and push these guys out just a little bit. There we go. Now we got a little dimple on there. A little elbow. Boom. Not allowed to 3D print yet, but maybe soon? Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we've done it. We got ourselves a boy. Are we still doing the raffle? We are still doing the raffle. The raffle is going to start at 3. I'm only going to give the raffle an hour about every day. Because, I don't know. It's easier for me that way. I guess there's no harm in me starting it early, but it just kind of, I forgot about it. Any rules? Oh, CQDK, you are out here to win today. The rule is I want it to work with this guy. I would like your, I would like it to work with this guy. You got a lot of points. You have a lot of points. We also had a 3D printing class and got to see an industrial printing shop. One guy there had printed a cheetah skull, if I remember correctly. That's awesome. When I was looking up stuff for this, I saw a lot of 3D printed skulls. It was 1-to-1 scale? Whoa, that's pretty dope. I like that. Alright, so we're going to just do a little bit of taming on this guy, just to make sure that it works. I know I'm going to be changing all of this in a little bit, so it's going to be a little wasteful. But I just want to learn what I'm doing before I get stuck into it. You might also be asking yourself, why not just smooth it out and do it using a normal map? That's going to be a lot easier for you. I don't know what the shape is yet. And worst case scenario, I'm going to do a sculpt retopo, which I've learned how to do over the weekend. So I'm just going to retopo this thing if I have to. I'm not too stressed about little details like that right now. I have given myself a large amount of work to redo, hence why we're redoing this one right now. And if I have to redo my work, who cares, right? This is all for learning. I want to be like at the point where I can just pump out work faster than what I'm doing right now. So there's no use in like struggling and trying to say like I'm gonna waste all the time and energy that I have trying to make this work right now. There's nothing saying that I have to have a finished game tomorrow. So I'm gonna take my time and make sure it's all quality, you know? Alright. Silken Coat has politely asked for a stretch. Oh, did you hear that pop? Sorry, I was rambling too much. Let me try one more time. Oh my god. This kind of looks like a drawing I did not too long ago. I like that. Thank you for the save. The save is very appreciated. The stretch is also very appreciated. The save is very appreciated as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and try and get these little tendrils going. It's a good stretch when you can hear it. Yeah, that's true. Maybe a little bit on the scary side when you can hear it. You're sort of like, what's wrong with me? Okay, I hate to say that I want to go ahead and re-topo this thing, but I kind of think we want to, or no, remesh, I mean. No, that looks terrible. We're not going to crease these guys. If anything, they creased on one side. All right, let's go ahead and do some pushing. We're going to try and make some shapes out of this guy. So let's lower that strength down a little bit. Look at CQDK. I think the commands were a good touch on stream. I think everyone might agree with that. I sort of resisted doing, like, the more fun stuff on stream. I don't know, I guess I took my stream, like, really seriously for whatever reason. But, it's been more fun lately. It's been a lot more casual, too, which I think has come out in my work. Which I appreciate a lot. You just do what you gotta do, you know? Okay, so that is a little bit more of an organic sort of shape there. And now what we want to do is really round out some of these bits using a couple of weird techniques. Whoa, hello? Okay, so the goal is to make like a sharp little boy here. And he's a little Play-Doh-y looking. So I gotta figure out how to really get that branch look. An hour and a half and I'm off work and I get to celebrate my anniversary. We mostly celebrated yesterday with movies and pizza. Wow. How long has it been? What's the year? What are we celebrating? Is it the paper one? Because the paper one's the worst one. 5 years. Wow. 5 years. And you don't hate each other yet? It must be meant to be. It's the paper one? Yeah, the paper one's the worst one. We don't mess with the paper one. We love each other more. More than when you started. That's cool. You're a real inspiration, Silk. I think we could all learn something from you. Are we going to learn anything from you? I have no clue. But should we? I believe we should. Okay, that's more along the lines of what I want here. It was pizza on our books. I mean, pizza's made out of paper for the most part. What kind of movies? There you go. That's the real question. CQDK, you might as well just be the streamer at this point. You ask people better questions than I do. Okay, so I'm doing a lot of the same techniques I did with the first one. I'm hoping that I can clutch it out a little bit better. Because I do feel stronger about my abilities, but I am kind of doing a lot of the same stuff. A comedy romance called Mr. Right and some Korean space movie. What the heck? Is that normal for you guys to watch insane movies? There we go. That's not terrible looking. Now we gotta round some of this guy out. I'm kind of scared to do a retop, or a remesh, I mean. You love space? CQDK, I'm not gonna lie, that's actually kind of a surprise. You seem like not a sci-fi person. Maybe I have a weird colored opinion of you, but you seem like not a space person. There we go. Get all of that in there. And then bring it back, and then go back. Come on. Come on, I know you want to work. Okay, that's 2 more for me. Back up to where we were. I'm not a space person, I just like space. I think that makes you a space person. Okay, this is not terrible looking. I think it's time to do our remesh, and I don't want to do it, but we're gonna go for it. You know what? Actually, let's take one out of the book. Copy paste. This is backup stump. Take one out of the book. There's no reason not to do that. Now we go back to sculpt, and I double check that my guy is good. You know what? I think we want to go even smaller than that. I'm going to say 0.35 is probably a good number. Okay, so now that's pretty small. And now we're going to take the bottom of this and we're going to fix that little angle right there. It depends on the mood, but Korean movies are a special fun type of weird. This one called Space Scrapers. The cool part was that all the groups of it spoke different languages, so you had Russian, English, Spanish, Korean. That's actually kind of dope. That's like a commitment right there. I really do appreciate movies that commit. You know, they're like, you know what, we're going to actually go for it. We're not going to do this weirdo, basic, boring stuff. We're going to actually, like, commit to being crazy. There's something cool about that. Okay, this guy needs to be moved out. So let's pop that guy out. We're going to remesh it one time, and then we're going to scrape it on down. Scrape? You're right, scrappers. Sorry. I said scrape because I read CQDK's comment. Yeah, scrap. You're right. Scrap it is. Okay, so that is not the worst looking little stump guy I've ever seen. Let's do this little branch here, and I'm going to say that we probably need to do a little bit more work on him, but for the time being, this will be fine. Wind Waker puts me in the best mood? Absolutely. You love Wind Waker. If there's anything I know about Im, it's that they love the Wind Waker. You're kind of like the Zelda fan of chat. You're the official Zelda fan. Anybody who has a Zelda question, please refer to I'm a Cup of Tea. That is their specialty. Okay, so we're just going to get this guy looking a little crazy. I actually beat my record in hardcore Minecraft? Yeah? Let's hear about it. What's your record? I don't really know what a record means in hardcore Minecraft. I'm assuming how far you got. Have you beaten the Ender Dragon? What do you think the new Zelda will be about? Oh, I have strong opinions on this. 120 days. Holy cow. That's actually pretty impressive. That is actually pretty impressive. There we go. Don't you love when dinner with parents turns into cross-examination about your hobbies? Oh, yes. Absolutely. It is always a treat. It's always a treat to be put on blast. You can answer after tea? I'm a big scaredy cat, so I haven't done much in the nether. You're a scaredy cat? How are you a scaredy cat? You're the most, like, dark person I know. Okay, let's pop all that together, and we'll give that a little poke. Let's give this guy a little bit of a crunch because he's looking not too great. Okay, that'll remesh just a couple of times on its own. You need a crunch. A crunch. I think they're going to go back in time and uncover some of the Zonai secrets. I don't want to die in hardcore, but everything else I'm not. Okay, you got it. I do not think the Zonai are going to matter nearly as much as they probably should in the new one. Tell you what, we're going to do a little bit of that. Let's crunch that out and make sure that it looks good, because it's doing a lot of weird stuff right now for no reason. It's just eating itself. Just let that go. Just let that go for a little bit. There we go. That's actually a cool little hole that we're going to poke a little tendril out of. So we're not actually going to be using the stump for walking. The stump's going to have a new form of like locomotion. And I'm going to work on that a little later. That's probably going to be the last thing I do in the stream before raffle. So let's say that this looks just about good enough for my purposes. That looks all right. I can live with this. Now we can round out some of these little blobs like that. Round out just a couple of these guys. I don't feel like I've done anything different than the first time I did this, but it does look better somehow. Maybe it just has more detail work than it did last time. All right, so T tried a hardcore world. T, can you tell us about your hardcore world? What happened? Why did it fail? What went wrong? There we go. Look at that. Beautiful little bit there. Okay. That is going to be my little stump. Let's now add the last little bit of detail to it. Just little scrapes all over the place to make it look good. And I gotta say, I'm not feeling too bad about this. This looks good to me. The material work is going to be an important piece of this puzzle, and I have a really clear idea of how I want to do the materials, but we'll have to wait until we get there, because I'm not sure yet. I was feeling confident and tried to throw down with some pillagers. I think time travel with an Oracle of Time spinoff would be fun. There was another theory where you play as Zelda and Link would have to play sky and ground parts with them separately. That's an interesting idea. What I think is going to happen in Breath of the Wild 2 is I think it's going to be a really strong day-night cycle, and they're going to play with the idea of things waking up. Do the same. I just hate Ravagers in hardcore. Yeah, they're not the nicest. I have a feeling like Ganondorf waking up as a little corpse is going to be a thing that starts over and over and over again, and you got to, like, you know, put him back to bed, or you got to kill enough enemies, and then just like the Blood Moons, they raise them back up again. Because the trailers very specifically showed us daytime. And the daytime is magical and majestic and this and that, but they didn't show us nighttime footage to the best of my memory. And I think nighttime is going to be scary in Breath of the Wild 2. It might even have some, like, survival aspects. Like, I doubt there's going to be base building, but I think it might sort of lean in that direction a little bit. What are Ravagers? You know Ravagers. Okay, so that's my stump. How are we feeling about this stump? You know what? I'm going to add one thing for structural support, because this guy probably goes around and does a bit of work, and I want to give him a little bit more support in his job. We support hard workers in this household, and this guy is going to be a hard worker. So that's going to be the little structural support that I'm going to add right there. There we go. A little bit of support. Yeah, that's perfect. He is perfect looking. Okay. Also, our boy needs a name. If anybody wants to name him, please let me know. And I will consider some names. Ravager's the big thing that comes when you start a raid. The, like, big rhino thing, right? Looks like a dinosaur. Yeah. Yeah, those things are not fun. We're going to start the raffle here in just a moment. You know what? I can start the raffle now. You've reminded me. Might as well give it a start. It's okay if it goes a little early. So one moment while I start my raffle. The rule of today's raffle is it must be something at least vaguely relating to this boy that we're making. It can be an accessory. It can be a plant growing on it, which would be an accessory. It could be a little thing that they've built, a little tool, a weapon, whatever you want. But it's got to be related. Okay, we're golden. We're going. It should give you... There it is. Okay. What happened here? Hello? Silken, are you going to be here for the end of the raffle? With your anniversary coming up? Don't get too caught up. There we go. We're going to fill this in as best as we can because there's a little thing down there that I have to be mindful of. Oh, look at everyone going nuts. If you got full iron armor and you play hardcore, the Ravager will one-hit you? Yeah, that sounds about right. You bequeath your tickets? If you say so. I mean, I'm just going to select a new leader, so just keep that in mind. I just don't want you to waste your tickets, you know? There's no use in that. Tried it many times? I believe you. Okay, I am officially done sculpting this. No, what is this? Every time I do a remesh, there's holes. Where are these holes coming from? You're here till 4? Okay, so you'll see who the winner is. So I'm going to make the assumption that everybody really likes the raffle system. I'm going to make the assumption that it's a well-liked change to stream. Seems like everybody's pretty into it. You just want one ticket? You want to win on that, like, deep, like, hope that you'll get it. I like that. I can respect that. There we go. Okay, I am officially done sculpting this. Stop. Stop sculpting it. Force yourself to stop sculpting it. Okay. We're back. We're here. We're paying attention. We're focused. So now what am I going to do? What do we want to do now? I kind of want to make a little leaf for him, but I think making the skull is like a number one. I also kind of want to make the legs. You know what? Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we do actually want to do a little bit more sculpting, but it's really easy stuff. I'm going to come into here, and I'm going to really push up into this guy. Like, we're going to push way high up into this guy. Because I want to have a little hole that the tentacles come out of. I don't want you to be able to see underneath this guy and see, okay, nope, that's not what I want. Okay, that should do just fine. That's not what I like. Not what we're into. Please don't do that. Okay, go back, go back, go back. We got this hole. Now we're going to clear it with positive sculpting. And we should be good. Sculpting is a travesty. What is happening? I think I got too close to the grain and now I'm having trouble. I vaguely remember this happening the first time I did this as well. You know what? Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Go back all the way. We're back to this. This will be fine. I'm not going to mess with it. We're done. Okay, let's make tentacles. So we want like little natural tentacles coming out of this guy. Huh. I think a tentacle should look like this. Here is what I'm thinking a tentacle looks like. It is going to be a... It's going to be a UV sphere of... We'll just use the default UV sphere. That's fine. And here is the shape. You mean like an eldritch god or like a vine? Yes. Yes is the answer to that one. Wait, what? Oh, my normals are still set up. Okay, so let's go back to this. We're going to do just normals like that. And then just normals like that. And then we're going to make it just a little skinnier. And then I come up to here, and I'm going to grab you, and we're going to round you out. A Viking god? What do you mean a Viking god? What does that mean? There we go. That is a tentacle. Nice and easy. So let's make it small. Whoa, careful. Okay, so we got a tentacle. Let's get it smaller than that. So we're gonna put a tentacle up into here. You don't know? That's okay. So now the crucial part for me is I want to grab this and I'm going to set it to 0. We're gonna grab our stump, which still needs a name. Anybody who wants to name it, please give it a name. We're gonna call you Tentacle, because they'll all say tentacle. You just like Vikings? That makes a lot of sense for you. Charles? Flamphy? Charles Barkley is a big no. I'm gonna give a big no on that one. Okay, let's make an armature. Rediera. I'm definitely not going to name it after myself. I want something maybe a little on the fantastical side. You wound me. That was a great pun. Yeah, I'm a wounder. It's a wounder that, never mind. I'm not going to finish that sentence. I'm definitely not going to finish that sentence. All right. So we're going to go ahead and armature this guy on out. Viney. I don't like Viney. All right, I'm going to offer some names of my own then. There we go. We got ourselves a little tentacle. That should hold just fine. Hopefully that looks good when it runs too. Fangorn? Fangorn is not a terrible name, but I don't like that it's taken from another media source. Tentacle arm. Now we're going to grab both of these guys, and we're going to parent them with automatic weights. Perfect. I think we've done it. I think I am good to go on this. Part of me wants to take this and squish it down a little bit more, like that. But otherwise, I think we're good to go. Batula. What is Batula? I like that. That is a cool name. What is that from? What about Green? I'm going to say no to Green. It's an ambitious name for sure. All right, here we go. We're going to do some vines on this guy. I'm inclined to do 3 vines, but I think it might be more fun if we do 5. Because this isn't a tripod. This guy is going to be made really well. Oh, no. It didn't work. It's Latin for birch. Oh, I like that. Okay, do you have more names that are Latin for stuff? Like, do you have Latin for oak? Do you have Latin for stump? Because that could do it. Okay, that's going to be our little guy right there. And if I go back to this, they all intersect correctly. No, they don't. Rasmus. I like Rasmus. I like Rasmus a lot. Stump doesn't directly translate. Lignum quad steterit in eu. There goes my pronunciation of Latin. As if I ever had one. Okay, let's pose this guy up a little bit. No, I want to pose him. Pose this guy. Okay, here we go. Here we go. This guy right here is going to get the treatment. Oak is quercus. Ain't Kartoffel Latin? Acer. What if they call him Quirky? Q-U-E-R-C-I. Quirky. Or Quircy. He's a little quirky boy. I like Quirky. Are we in on Quirky, or is that a no-go? It's your tree? I'm asking. We're all playing this game together. We're all having a fun little time. I think I dig it. I think I dig Quirky. Quirky's pretty good. Okay, let's pose this guy up. I'm gonna have to actually like rig this up properly eventually, but I'm not gonna do it right now. Also, that cannot intersect there, so we're gonna do that right there. Demon? Definitely not calling him Demon. No, his name's not gonna be Quirky. It's going to be Corsi. Just like that. I think I dig Corsi. There we go. There we go. And then we're going to go ahead and just push this guy down to give him a little thing to stand on. I think I might need to subdivision this or do shape keys or something, because he does look like he's having a bit of a hard time here. I like Corsi. Corsi's good. Look at his little leggies. Oh, they're perfect. Oh, he's going to do great work. Oh, he's going to do great work. Oh, he looks great. Color me real pleased with this. Color me pretty pleased with this guy. Quirky the Tree. You know you like it. You know it's a great name. You know it's like the best name ever. Okay, we're going to pop that guy up even more, and that is that one. Oh, it's so good looking. Second only to Charles Barkley. I can't accept the Charles Barkley. I can't live in a world with Charles Barkley. That's a sentence for the ages. I can't live in a world with Charles Barkley. Hey, Charles Barkley, I hope you're listening. And I hope you completely get that out of context. I know Charles Barkley is actually like two people, and neither of their names is Charles Barkley, but for the sake of it, I hope they hear this. There we go. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, he looks crazy good. Where's the Clippers when you need them? Oh, no. Charles who? Charles Barkley. It's a band. They do that song Crazy. I think I'm crazy. I'm not going to do any more than that. That's my rendition of Crazy. I remember when I was a kid, my mom would always be like, I hate that song. My mom really didn't like that song. Which I think is sweet in its own weird way. She really didn't like that song. Okay, so this one's going to be definitely the weirdest leg out of the bunch so far. That is pretty good looking. He was a basketball guy? Oh, I know Charles Barkley. Yeah, okay, sorry. I understand I understand the Quad City Slams and all that. But for most people, Charles Barkley is famous as the band. Charles Barkley might be like the funniest guy in basketball, in my opinion. You know, a lot of people give that to Shaq, but he is very funny. There we go. That's what I'm going to say is it. You are so lost. Honestly, there's nothing to know about this. We're just going off about crazy stuff. He looks so good. We've nailed it. I think I've nailed it on this one. I'm going to give him a single subdivision. And we're going to grab all of these guys. You know what? I'm going to just double the subdivision. There's no reason not to. Why wouldn't I? I actually don't want to copy that because it's going to copy the armature as well. My bad. So we'll just go one by one and do all this. How we're going to make this work with less geometry, I don't know. That's something I got to learn. Do they play rocks? What do you mean play rocks? Also, I will take a drink of water on your behalf. What do you mean do they play rocks? What does that mean? What is playing rocks? No, they do not play rock music. They're a rap group. Oh, hip-hop rap group. Rap is maybe pushing it a little bit, but they're definitely a hip-hop group. Okay, so that is the beginning of the stump done. I'm going to actually make animations for running and jumping because, hey, I have to admit something to everybody. Sorry to admit this to you so late into the stream. This is the main character of the game. This is the main character of the whole game. So, like, you play as this character. But we'll get back to that eventually. Yeah, you're a rock fan. That makes sense. Okay, let's make a bird skull. We're going to make a nice little bird skull. Tree Stump Simulator 2077. Honestly, it's exactly what it is. So, what do we call him? We called him Quercy. Quercy. We got a backup for Quercy. We got all this, and it's not going to import the tentacles correctly. I don't know why it does that. It's so annoying. How many hours to the end of raffle? The raffle will end at 3:45 my time. So 40 minutes from now. Why? What's up? You gonna dunk out for a little bit? Perfectly cool if you want to. All right, let's go ahead and do a bird skull. Yeah, of course. No worries. You take it easy. Okay, so bird skull. Let's start with a primitive. We want to start with a very simple shape that looks about right. Off the top of my head, I was thinking about doing... I got it. I got it. We're going to pop in a UV sphere. Okay, we got ourselves a little guy right here. We're going to go straight through him. Like that. Delete the vertices. We're going to plug in the bottom face like that. Did that work? Yep, it did. Okay, and now we can go ahead and proportional bring this guy forward. So let's give him a sharp, and we're just going to go for it. No more normals. I think we're done with normals for a little bit. Tell you what. I think we want to go smooth. Lower that down a little bit. Keep it right there, and then we're going to go to sharp and do the beak. So that is roughly the shape that we're going to want for this guy. And then we have to pop in the skull, which is really weird that they have a hole in the bottom of their skull here. Ain't that just weird? Okay. How many polys do I need to get a 15% discount on your game? Now that is a cool idea. I like that idea a lot. Maybe I will do something like that. That's a really cool idea. I don't know. Maybe like 20,000? There we go. Okay, we're going to want X symmetry. Yeah, we got X symmetry here. The hole is where the neck bone attaches? Yeah, you got it. I thought of that afterwards, but it was just a weird look. Okay, so we got ourselves a nice, strong bird beak here. Get it all looking nice and crazy. I think that actually might be a little too long, if I'm being perfectly honest. So we're going to go ahead and just elastic deform this guy back a little bit using a really big elastic deform. There we go. That's a little bit better. Maybe one more. There we go. That looks a bit better. And we'll round that out. The fact that it's staying so sharp is really nice for me. We're going to keep it just like that. In fact, I could probably round out the end of this guy. Just like that. Do your best to keep that rounded. There we go. Okay, now, let's do this. So a little couple of details that we got to do first is the head comes back like that a little bit. Just like that. And then it has this big crick here on the nose. So we're going to get really small. What the heck? Why has strength gotten so strong? What? Why is it doing this? Crease has never worked this way before. Let's apply scale real quick. And let's go back to sculpt and let's re-sculpt it one time. It has never been that strong before. Why is it doing that? What is happening? My strength... Okay, my strength was high. I'll give you that one. Okay, so we're going to make the best looking bird skull that we can handle. So, let's just dig into this guy. This is going to test all of my mouse skills as a filthy mouth user. I don't think the word that I just said was the word that I wanted to say. I meant to say mouse user and not mouths user. But I'm kind of in it at this point. What is the latest thing in 3D that you learned? I learned how to do single vert projection to do retopo. And that was honestly really interesting and really cool. So that makes me a little bit more confident that I'm not so worried about sculpting and being like, oh, the topology is too bad. Like, I can just do it by hand. So I don't need to worry too much about topology. I'm giving myself more work, of course, but such is the way of 3D modeling. You guys still using a mouth to eat in 2021? Me neither. Honestly, I've seen All Tomorrows. I know how this works. There we go. There's our hole, and we're just going to keep retopping until the hole comes out. I also, last week on Tuesday or Thursday, I spent like the whole day learning how to do vector math. And I'm not very good at it, but I know some secrets of the trade now. And that's how I made all those cool materials. Okay, that should handle just fine. We're going to take it from here. Can you all just go? Like, just shrink these guys up and give them what they need. Just shrink them. Vector math is fun. Also as fun as matrix math. Not sure what it has to do with Blender, though. Vector math, in my experience, is used exclusively for noding. So, like, being able to take coordinates. Please enable Dynatopo. Okay, you got it. Last time I tried this, it didn't work super well for me, but we'll go for it, okay? I actually cannot do a remesh anymore, which I'm assuming Dynatopo is just doing automatically. I cannot remesh anymore. I lack the ability to remesh, which I'm assuming must be Dynatopo. The name would imply that, and I would agree with that, but I don't know. I also think a bird skull probably has this little ridge inside here, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to cut it down quite a bit. Okay, so now we got to make the eyes a little bit cooler. But this is not terrible looking. This is pretty good. Okay, so big old eyes, and they have that crescent sort of look to them. So let's make that. Junie! Junie, where you been? Do you have a busy day? You have to set your detail to constant and then select a proper value, else it's going to do funky stuff. You got to say that in your original message. I don't automatically know things. You got to let me know. Okay. Set detail to constant. You were meal prepping 2 casseroles all by myself, then cleaning the kitchen? Hell yeah. Oh, this is bad. Oh, it went to 3. Why did it go to 3? That's not what I wanted. Okay, so we do probably want that to be 12. The more I'm looking at that, the more I'm like, 12 is pretty good. And then we're going to round this guy out with a little bit of some smooth, and then we should be good. Yeah, any recipes worth sharing? Absolutely. Let's up that strength a little bit. I think we can go kind of hardcore here. Broccoli salad and breakfast casserole. I love a breakfast casserole. Now, I don't know if anybody saw the picture that I posted on Discord yesterday, but holy cow, that broccoli that I made was the crazy best broccoli ever. That stuff killed. All right, let's say this is decent. And then I just want to take some smoothing and smooth all of this guy out. Having some trouble seeing everything in here, but nothing we can't solve here. Told my parents' Alexa in the kitchen to play Top Hits Radio, and the first song that it chose was Born This Way, and I was like, wow. Wow, you just got called out. Your wife makes a really good bacon and cheese hash brown one, but we make it like once a year because it's so calorie rich. That sounds smart on your behalf. It doesn't sound fun, but it sounds smart. Also, we need to make sure that this ridge has a little bit of an edge to it. We're going to want that to come up like that. Come down, and then we're going to bring this up. I did a Unreal 4 shader course last weekend. Now I'm getting close to my Blender skills there. Wow. Unreal is definitely like my weakest point in the pipeline right now. I haven't been putting a lot of effort into Unreal, but I've also had a lot of life stuff happen to me recently, so it's been a difficult little passage of time for Unreal. But we'll get there. We'll get there in due time. Just requires a bit of doing on my part. Okay, I think that is going to be a decent enough looking bird skull. Now let's do that nose. So we're going to do a little bit of nostril. And we're done with Dino Topo. I'm just going to put that out there. Hey, Beryl, thanks for the recommendation. I don't think it's for us right now. Don't think we're there. This one is bread, sausage, cheese, and a sauce that is cream of mushroom, milk, egg, mustard, and sriracha. We let it soak overnight, then bake it the next morning. Holy cow. Your wife thinks black pepper is too hot. I feel for your pain. That is so sad. Like, hot, spicy food is the way of life. Like, that's what we're living for. That's the only reason I'm alive right now is for spicy food. Okay, so we're going to get that nose going all the way back to where the eyes plug in. Which means I should take it upon myself to push here first. Black pepper ain't hot? I think that was the idea, though. The idea was not that Silk chose something very hot, but that Silk chose something that everybody kind of already agrees is good. I love hot food. The older I get, the harder it is to eat hot food. My body definitely is not pleased about it. But man, do I like it. Okay, that should be all right. We're going to push in as deep as we can go. Make a nice little bit of headway on there. And that should hold just fine. Cool. So now we can push into here. We all eat things that our body rebels against. That is true. But it really kills me. Like, really, really kills me. My body hates it so much. Let's up the strength on this guy. We're going to go all the way to the nose. Dig yourself in there. Nothing like picking a bird's nose. And I think we're almost done with this bird, which is wild to me. The fact that we're going to finish this is crazy. When do we finish anything? Now, is there a better tool for this? Should I be using a different tool? Multi-res displacement eraser. No, let's not do that. Front faces only. Cuts. Trim difference. Okay, I blew it up. Also, I have a hole in my shirt right in the armpit. Isn't that so unfortunate? Oh god, I like actually blew up Blender. No! I should have saved. Alright, come on. I know you can do this. It did it. Okay, it did it, and it just did a slice right there. That's okay. We'll just undo that slice. I'm going to save real quick. We got a nice save in here. And now we're going to just check to see if we can find a way to cut a hole in this thing. You know, snake hook might actually be a really good way to do this. A snake hook might be an easy way to do this. An elastic deform might be a good way to do this. Oh, that's actually such a good way to do this. I know everyone's upset because it looks weird. We're going to fix it. Don't you worry. Come on. Come on. I know you want to do this. Come on. Come on. We're so close. Just get there. Just get in there. Dino in a brush set to accumulate would do a better job. So, Beryl, you and Simo both do this. And I appreciate it because you guys are being very good to me. But you both do this. I don't just know how to do things. I can't just know how to do things from nowhere. So when people say you should do this, I have to learn how to do it first, which is cool. But I don't just automatically know how to do stuff. So you got to keep that in mind with me sometimes. Also, what the heck is going on? What was that? Okay, so I've messed this up somehow. It's like grabbing a weird part of the mesh. All right, so we're going to push this all the way back. I don't know that this is accomplishing too much, but I'm worried about hitting this guy again with the clay strips. It looks good. It just needs to connect. Maybe it doesn't matter if it connects. Does it matter? Do we care? Do any of us care about this? Oh, it did it. It did it. We've done it. We did it. Just as I was going to give up, we did it. Okay, so now let me just cut this. Make some holes. Come on, take the holes. Take the holes, please. Cling onto the holes, please. Set your brush to front faces only. No, I'm trying to cut. Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on. You've said something now to me that makes a lot of sense. Front faces only. You got it. Yes, yes, yes. Smart, smart man. Oh, thank you. Beryl, thank you so much. Very appreciated. That saves a lot of effort. I need to keep that one in the back of my mind. I'm going to write that one on my little note card in front of my desk here. That one's going to save me a lot of effort. Okay, there we go. We got ourselves a little nostril. Now we can embellish this nostril a little bit. Now that we're here, let's go ahead and pop this. Up that strength. There's this weird little crease here, although creasing has not been in my best interest lately, but we're going to put the crease right there. That'll do, right like that. And then this guy needs to pop into here, just like this. Bring that all the way back. There we go. That is her. Done. Oh, she looks good. That's perfect. The beak is the worst part. All right. Catch you later, Simo. Simo, thank you for all your help always. You're always really good to us. Everybody in chat. Appreciate you, man. You take it easy. All right, there we go. We'll do that, and then we're going to round out the top of that just a little bit to make it look a little bit less crazy. Look at that. Now, last but not least, we're going to dig into the beak a little bit to give it that little arc that we need. And then I think we're good to go. There we go. In fact, there's no reason that we shouldn't just bring it all the way back, right? This isn't going to affect anything. It's definitely going to affect that. We should just stop it right here. And I think that is going to be good. Now we round it out and we say, Bob's your uncle. I think we are looking fairly golden here. Dare I say we've done it. Bob's your uncle. We got someone to say it. We got somebody to say it. That's all that matters. We got 2 people to say it. We're in business. We are in business. Look at that. Now we just want to crisp this guy up a little bit. When I re-topo this, I'll make sure it's extra sharp. But we're just going to do a little bit of the sharpness right now. And dare I say, I think that is good. I think we're here. I think we're close enough that I'm not going to stress the rest of this. I think we are close enough that I'm not going to stress too much. How are we feeling about this as a bird skull? Does this do it? It gets the idea across so well. There we go. I kind of want the beak to end here. Kind of want it to end right there. It does it for me? All right. That's all I needed. All I need is a little bit of approval and I'm good. Say hello to Uncle Bob, and then you can return to the other youngsters. Honestly, if you don't say hello to Uncle Bob at the family reunion, he's going to have a hard time. He's going to not like that. All right, yeah, the beak needs to be sharper. Like, this is going to be one big piece right here. This is going to be a lot easier when I re-topo this. But that's it. We're here. That looks so good. Okay, I'm pretty pleased with what we're up to lately. I can't be too upset at my own abilities. Like, is there more to learn? Yes. Am I not the best 3D model in the world? Of course not. But, like, this is 30 minutes of work. Should it have been less? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what an acceptable amount of time for sculpting a bird skull is. I'm certainly not displeased with it, I'll tell you that. Okay, so let's go ahead and say that this is bird skull. And we're going to bring Quercy back in. There we go. Little baby Quercy is inside of the body here. And now we're going to set him right down on there. Look at that beauty. And now we're going to put some eyes in him. Oh, she's a beaut. Oh, she's a beaut. I would make mine twice as detailed and it would take me 4 times the time. I feel that. I really feel that. I'm new to sculpting. All right? I'm not new to sculpting, but I'm new to being good at sculpting. Good at sculpting. Don't take that out of context. So I'm just taking my sweet time. Okay, let's put some eyes in her. Now, I'm always tempted to do icospheres, but UV spheres are traditionally going to be way better for us. So we're going to do just a simple little guy here. I might even do something less than this if I'm being perfectly honest, but there's no reason to think about that yet. You know what I think is next for 3D modeling? I think something that would really do it next in 3D modeling is like unsubdivide. I know there's an option for it when you're tinkering around, but like a genuine like modifier unsubdivide, low poly, proper, that's going to be like the next big thing. Okay, here we go. We're going to want 1.54. Why am I doing all this? I'm not totally sure. Negative 789. And 32. There we go. Now we're going to grab you and we're going to put on a mirror modifier with the bird skull. Bird skull, there it is. And we'll call you bird eyes. Think we can get rid of that properly. And now I got to say, where do we want these bird eyes to be? That looks haunting. You can unsubdivide by using Dino Topple on low detail. Barrel? Barrel? I've had enough. Okay, that is pretty cool. It looks haunting. Okay, so we're going to do some noting in a little bit. I actually only have about 30 minutes before, or 20 minutes, I should say, before we're done and we move on to the next step. So I probably should node this guy up pretty quick. But I'm going to just make these little leaves real quick. And then we'll do the noting, I promise. Honestly? Good comment. Now, should I be using a leaf card? Yes, I should be using a leaf card, but I'm not going to because I'm a nut job. Or I'm gonna do mushrooms. We're gonna put mushrooms on them. We're gonna make a mushroom on him. This is gonna take way too long, but I'm gonna put a mushroom on him because I'm terrible. You gotta know your toolbox, but the toolbox is so big that nobody could ever know everything in the toolbox. That's my only pushback against that. Otherwise, I agree with you. You gotta know your toolbox, but the toolbox is so big that learning the toolbox is actually like unproductive. Let's go ahead and remove that. Actually, hold on. We're going to inset once like that. We're going to repeat, repeat. Okay. Now we take all of this and all of this, and we're going to scooch you up. And then we're going to remove one. We're going to remove one, and we're going to repeat. And then we're going to remove one and remove one. Oh no. Okay, you know what? I can just do this manually. I don't care. Not a big deal. The little manual edit might actually make it look a little bit better while we're here. You don't go from using electrical tape to solder wires mid-job. Yeah, that's kind of the idea for me. It's like, ideally I do want to know everything, but like there's just too much to know. And I have a lot going on in life that I can't sit and learn all of it. So as much as I want to learn everything, I kind of got to chill out a little bit. There we go. That's a mushroom. That's a pretty good looking mushroom while I'm at it. The only thing I'm going to add is we're going to take this guy. You know what? We're going to remove one layer of detail. I'm going to take all of this and dissolve it. And we're going to, not dissolve, we're going to extrude you up. Make you small. Pull you up. No, actually, I don't want to do that. We want to do that, and then we want to do another one that gets brought in and up. And now we do this, and we have a mushroom. Perfect. Oh, I like that you can subdivide on a keyframe. I actually didn't know that was a thing. Okay, so what else do we want to do with this? We want to make him a yucky boy. Big thing we want to do is make like a yucky boy. So I'm going to go into sculpt real quick. And we're going to ruffle his edges up quite a bit. Using probably that. No, that's not what I want. Let's go into here. Let's apply scale. Go back to sketch. Not what I want to do. How are we going to do this? You know what? I think we can do this in poly edit, actually. I'm going to grab a point. Just you. We're going to bring you in like that and turn on proportion with a random. We're going to do the exact same thing on this side with a random. Now we're going to grab the whole thing and we're going to smooth him out. There we go. If you have to, you will acquire a new skill mid-session. I mean, I will do that if I'm not streaming, but streaming kind of puts a damper on that. Because as much as I don't feel inclined to have to entertain everybody, I do care about being entertaining. Otherwise, I agree with you. I think learning mid-session is fine. But I don't exactly always have the ability to do that. Okay, I'm going to say that this is... It needs like a subdivision. What am I looking for? Face. Edge. Mesh. Where are you? What am I looking for? Unsubdivide. Where is unsubdivide? I thought for sure there was an unsubdivide in here somewhere. What am I missing? I'm gonna run out of time before I do anything. I don't see it. Okay. Fair be it. Oh, he looks bad. I think I have to... You know, we're going to sculpt this guy real quick. I actually have an idea that this will work. Excuse me. That one snuck up on me. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do just a little bit of pushing to make these guys into little crinkly bits. So we're just gonna make some crinkly little mushies real quick. Whoa, what was that? That was a new thing I've never seen before. That actually looks pretty decent. I don't know why there's a hole here, but that doesn't look terrible. And for the sake of time, I'm going to say we're done. So let's do that, and we're going to pop some mushrooms on the back of this boy. So we're going to do, they're like shelf mushrooms. They're going to be like this, sticking off the back. A little bit of shelf mushies. Look at that. Look how gorgeous they look. Color me pretty pleased with that. They're not terrible looking. I was kind of worried they were going to look really bad, but they actually look pretty good. Maybe one more right at the bottom. Right over here. All right, the raffle has ended. I will determine a winner in just a moment. There we go. That actually looks the part. Look at this guy. Look at this dude. Oh, he's cool. Oh, he's super cool. Okay. Let's finish up the raffle real quick, and then I'm gonna node all these up as fast as I can, and then we'll call it. So, let's see what happened with that raffle. Who's going to get it? Take your bets. Is it going to be Silken? Who's leaving? Okay, let's see. Pick a winner. It is Saf. Saf, are you here? Saf, if you are here, you get to determine what we're going to be doing to this cute little boy. In the meantime, I am going to finish noting this up. And everybody, if Saf doesn't show up, think of what you would like to add. Okay, so let's do this thing. So first things first, we're going to grab the bark. The bark should be nice and easy because I have some preset ones. That pine needs some work. I gotta work on that pine. The mahogany is only like a set mahogany. That's not gonna work for anything. So I think we gotta go with the oak. For the fun of it, how many tickets did they have? Yeah, I can say that. So Saf had 13. Beryl, you had 17. And then everybody else had less than that. So it was kind of a close race. Okay, so this texture is not good. It's good for this outside portion. It's not good in here. So I gotta fix this up. And I gotta fix this up. What is the reality that I'm gonna fix this? No, that's not gonna do it. You got one ticket? Honestly, you could have won. It's possible. Okay, so we're gonna call this Skull. It's always random. Is this not triggering? Oh, that's my subsurface color. No wonder. I was like, why is it not doing anything? All right. Saf, are you here? Let me message you on Discord, because otherwise I'm going to give you a few more minutes and then we're going to call it. All right. Pushing forward. Let's see what we want to do with this bird skull. That's a good bone color. Let's get bone stuff settled. Roughness is good. Specular's probably pretty low if I had to guess. Sheen being good doesn't matter. Yeah, everything else is good. So now we're going to do normals. It's a one-way ticket. All right. We got a little bit of bump being plugged into a Vernoy. There we go. Let's pop that in and do a little bit of this. A one-way ticket to paradise? Honestly. All right, Saf, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. And if you're not here in 5 minutes, we'll just reselect a winner. No problem. No harm, no foul. Can I do something like a Wither Rose? Yeah, I can do something like a Wither Rose. You want to do a Wither Rose for Minecraft? You're here. No worries. You're good. Yeah, I can do a Wither Rose. Why not? All right, I'm going to do a Wither Rose. One-way ticket to the moon? Honestly. Okay, that's going to be good right there. Now we're going to call these Dark Eyes. Now, eyes are really easy for me to do in this situation because we're going to put a mission on them. They're going to be blue. There's a reason they're blue, and it's because the emission strength is going to be negative. So when you're in a non-rendered environment like that, it just looks like this. But when we go to a rendered environment, that didn't work at all. Oh, I'm still in Eevee. My bad. Still in Eevee. If I switch to cycles, it'll suck all the air out from these guys. A one-way ticket to the people you love the most? Well, that's very cute. Okay, let's do some tentacles. So, tentacle. When I'm thinking of tentacle, I'm thinking that we want to do this yellow-green dark color. Tentacle. That's a pretty good color for a tentacle, if I gotta say so myself. It's gotta be decently rough. It's gotta have clear coat. The clear coat can't be that crazy looking. It's gotta have low specular. It's got to have a lot of sheen. Good amount of sheen. Low specular. All right. All right. We're getting there. Now, the tentacle probably has a pattern on it. Oh, we're going to be right down to the wire on this one. We're going to be real down to the wire. Let me go ahead and pop on maybe a noise texture. I'm thinking we can use the distortion to make little, like, veins for this. There we go. She's not liking this. Let's go back to pre-render. There we go. She is not having a good time. There we go. Okay, so we're going to pop this guy up, put a little bit of 1 on it to get that crazy looking sort of look, and then drop it down to be almost imperceivable. There we go. There we go. And now let's make it a little brighter now that I'm seeing it. Looks slimy. That's definitely the idea we're going for. Kind of looks like a pickle. Gotta love yourself a pickle. Okay, that'll do. So that's the tentacle texture. We'll do link material. There we go. Now they all have that. The skull looks good, and now the mushrooms. We have 6 minutes to do the mushrooms. That's not bad. Mushrooms, 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 mushrooms. What do I want to do with a mushroom? Let me look up a picture of a mushroom real quick, because I know there's like crazy looking mushrooms. Do you make your own pickles with the cucumbers you grow? No, I haven't made a pickle in a long time. I've actually been eating pickles that were like given to us for a long, long time right now. You turned yourself into a pickle? Oh no. Okay, so we're looking at mushrooms. There's the dotted kind. I do not want to make polka dots in 5 minutes. I do want red mushrooms. I'm kind of thinking this kind of red looks really good. So we're gonna do a little bit of a red mushroom. So let's call this mushroom. I think the red is also gonna have a nice like color for what we're doing. What are the feelings on fox mushrooms? Is that what they're called? They're called fox mushrooms? What's the general consensus on Rick and Morty for everybody? How does everyone feel about Rick and Morty? Because I have kind of strong opinions about Rick and Morty. Yeah, we're going to keep it as red as possible with the clear coat. Get that slimy sort of wet look going on in there. Maybe that's a little too wet. There we go. I've never seen Rick and Morty. Fox mushrooms are great. What's a fox mushroom? Let me Google what a fox mushroom is. Oh, they do look cool. If I had more time, I would do a fox mushroom for sure. They look pretty cool. They look wild. Okay, so we're going to pop in one more bump. I don't think this is going to work. Let me put this out there. I don't think this is going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway to see what happens. We're going to put on a white noise. This isn't going to work at all. This can't work. I have mixed opinions, I feel, about it. Like, I feel about Archer. It started off funny, got less so, and I laugh but kind of feel bad because the humor is so mean sometimes. Yeah, I think that's a fair opinion. My official opinions on Rick and Morty is I think the show is really ugly looking. And I think if you come from a background where you watch like Family Guy and stuff, you might be like, who cares? Like, that doesn't matter. But that matters to me. And the biggest thing, like, the character design is what it is, right? It's a cartoon. Who cares? The biggest thing about Rick and Morty is you look at the backgrounds. And the backgrounds of every shot are so static and boring and bland. And it's like, I just can't. I just can't do it. Everything looks so boring. It's too much for me. Why are we having so many processing issues today? What is happening? It's the Rick and Morty gods being mad that I made fun of Rick and Morty. It's just kind of an ugly show. That's my only thing. I think it just looks kind of bad. There's nothing wrong with it, per se. That's what I wanted. That's exactly what I wanted right there. There we go. That's the mushroom. Oh, she looks perfect. That looks so perfect. You finally watched the Demon Slayer movie? I have yet to watch it. I've yet to watch Demon Slayer. It's on my list, though. There we go. Okay, so what needs to happen is I need to fill in the inside of this guy with a lighter wood, and I need to do rings on the top. But I don't have time for that. So, given what we have, how does everybody feel about this right now? I think it looks pretty good. Color me pretty pleased with this guy. He's got a great color scheme. The color scheme is off the chart. It's a tree. It's a rock. All right. Yeah, I can live with this. I can live with this a lot. What a good little boy we got. I like him, but I feel like he needs something hanging off the branch. I like that. I like that idea too. I would summarize the show by Burp Morty. I built a gun that turns people inside out, Morty. Burp. Isn't the world dark, Morty? Burp. Yeah. It's annoying that the show's like, yeah, that's the point. It's like, okay. Looks like something a witch made. It definitely is something a witch made. It's like her little familiar. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab a Wither Rose. So, a Wither Rose. It's pretty simple looking. So it's just a black rose. So it's just a rose. Okay. All right, so I have a cool idea for how to get the rose to work. I got it. I know what we're doing. We have this. I'm going to make the rose part first because that's my promise, but I have a really cool idea once we're done with the rose. So, let's get back to this, and let's make ourselves a Wither Rose. Okay, so roses. When I look at a rose, I'm like, boy, that looks really hard to make in Blender. I'm like, that looks so hard to make. But if I think about it just very logically, just be very considerate and just think really close about this, I don't think it's that complicated. So I'm just going to build. We're just going to build how I think you want to make a Wither Rose. I'm just going to make a Wither Rose. What are these cubes? These are mushrooms. In fact, I can edit all of their names together. Not what I wanted. If I alt-click... Oh, it didn't work. Okay, never mind. We're just going to say mushroom. We'll just call all of them mushrooms. All of them are mushrooms. Just make cabbage. Okay, so how to make cabbage. Mushroom. Yeah, we'll just call that mushroom. The Wither Rose is pretty cool. What does the Wither Rose do? Because I saw them killing cows with it in that picture. What is the point of a Wither Rose? What does it do? Does it have like a special use? Okay, so I'm going to make a plane. Gives the wither effect. I understand. When you touch it. Okay, so we're going to do that. So here's the general idea for me. Got it. Well, that's cool. Making cabbage? Just make a rose. Beryl, you are silly today. Are you feeling good? You having fun? Okay, so this is my rose petal. Let me go ahead and make this a rose. How on earth am I going to do this without going crazy over my topology? Rose petal. How in the heck am I going to make this work? You need to place it. Yeah, I figured. Okay, so we got a rose petal. It's got a lot of faces already, which is scary to say the least. Okay, now we can crease. This is going to be a toughie. This is going to be a really difficult one. And my nose will not stop running. because I lowered the temperature in hopes of saving Blender a little bit of processing power, but now I am just cold. Star out with cylinder, wrap petals around it, and remove the cylinder. That's probably not the worst way to do it, but making the petals is the hardest part. Also, aren't you at your anniversary right now? What are you doing? Okay, there we go. That looks perfect. That's a good looking little guy right there. We got some spiky little guys with 112 faces. What am I doing with my life? 112 faces? Are you kidding me? Can I fix this? Trapped by a drooling cat that needs love? A drooling cat that needs love? Can you explain? What is a drooling cat that needs love? Is your cat drooling all over you? Did that fix it all? Nope, it's the exact same. All of my as he purrs and gets pets. That's so cute. That's so cute. That's lovely. Okay, so that to me is what we're going for. Right? So I'm going to copy and paste that. So here's what I'm thinking. We're going to pop this guy all over the place. So we should be able to just make something out of this, right? Yeah, so I'm just going to take a bunch of these, and we're just going to build a little contraption out of this. And assuming I've done this correctly, we should be, like, good to get in here. Like that. Okay, so the goal here is to be very sensitive with how we're doing this. Oh, there he is. Okay, so now we're building. So we just want to build like a big old contraption of petals. And what we're going to do with each of them as we go, and I'm not sure the order of things yet. This is where things are going to get a little weird and complicated. We're going to start by grabbing pieces and pulling things up. So I don't know like what the most efficient way for me to be doing this is, but I'm going to be just doing it like this for the time being. I suppose I could grab all of them. Oh, that's exactly what I should do. I should be doing all of them. Okay, let's go ahead and pop that around. Scooch you on up just a little bit. And bring you this way just a little bit. Yeah, we're going to do all of them at the exact same time. So I'm not going to stress the details yet. Anything that I can do instantaneously, we're just going to do. And then everything else we're going to stress in its own time. What do you give me faces for? This is going to be it. This is going to be a great little rose. It's going to be bad geometry, but it's going to be a great looking rose. Looks like a candy dish you'd get at IKEA. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I'll take it. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of that. Pop that guy on up here. You like it? Okay, I appreciate it. I don't know exactly what I'm doing yet. I'm just kind of building something. I'm scared of having to close the top of this thing. Okay, cat has received enough love. See you, time to wash my arms, then have dinner. Go have a nice dinner. I would tell you to go give your wife a kiss for me, but something tells me that doesn't really track well. So whatever you have to do to carry that spirit with you without making it weird, yeah, do that. All right, off we go. Look at that. Okay. All right. I'm going to say that's not bad. Here we go. We're going to grab all of them. We're going to go into edit. We're going to grab vertices. I will convey that a streamer wants her to have a good day. No, I meant specifically the kissing part, but I guess if you really want to make it that simple, you can make it that simple. But you could let her know that I'm going to give a kiss. I don't see, there's no harm in that. He says jokingly. Okay, we'll push all that to the center like that. I don't know if this is going to turn out. Let me just put that out there. I don't know if this is going to work. I kind of didn't know what I was doing, and I still don't really know what I'm doing. It does look good. It just doesn't look right. You're not sure, is the raffle over? The raffle is indeed over. Why do you ask? What'd you need? Did you still have ideas, or was there a complication or something? What happened? Yeah, we're doing the we're doing the raffle piece right now. This is the raffle. You wanted to see who won? Saf won. And Saf suggested the Wither Rose. Ace Dragons in chat. Okay, let's do that. Now, is this the most productive use of my time? I have no clue. I'm having a lot of trouble imagining how I should be doing this. So I'm just doing whatever works for the time being. We're just going to push this guy to his natural little limit. I'm sure there's a technique for making roses in 3D. I just don't know what it is. Good night. Take it easy, CQDK. All right, what does that look like? You know what? That definitely does not track. Huh. There must be a simple way to do this. I'm sure somebody has like a routine for doing roses that I'm just not aware of. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of a liberty here. Let me know if this is terrible, but I'm going to take a little liberty on this. I am going to take this and add the stem stuff, the stamen or whatever they're called. I'm going to add some little extra detail here because I don't think I can make the little like cusp part. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I can't do it, but I just don't think I can do that. I'm not even sure what I'm thinking for a rose, but this That's as close as I think as I can get to a rose. It's interesting. I've made something weird. Okay, so I'm going to grab this, and we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of that. Just like that. There we go. Okay, so that is my best attempt at making a black rose. Now let's put some little stems on this thing. So I'm going to add... We're going to add some curves. Just some little curves out here. We're going to give them just a little bit of geometry. 0.03 should do it. Yep, that's perfect. And here's what we're up to. I'm going to pop you up, pop you down, bring that guy down and around. There we go. A little bit of a stem. And if we pop you down into here... That'll do. Okay, so that looks strange, for sure. But it doesn't look terrible. So we're going to do another one. We're going to do 2 of them. This one we will edit as well. Oh, I don't want to edit both of them. I just want to edit you. There we go. Little dance between the 2 of them. Now I'm like, am I going to put little glowing balls on the end of them? Because I'm so apt to do that, but that seems like a bad idea. Something tells me that would not track well. Let's start by grabbing both of these and converting them into a mesh. And then I can grab the end of this guy. Like that. I can grab the end of you and do that. Do a little bit of a bevel to make it look nice and rounded on the end there. And we're going to do the exact same thing to you. There we go. Nice and easy. Am I going to put glowing balls on the end of them? I kind of think that's such a bad idea. You know what? It's a bad idea. I'm not going to do it. Okay, so this is my rose. It's a weird looking rose. Let's try and get these little streaky patterns going on here. Okay, we're going to push that just a little closer in so it just kind of feels more. I actually don't hate the way it looks the more I look at it. It's not terrible looking. It's just not what I was going for. So, sure. She's fine. She's fine just the way she is. Let's note it up. So, the stamina. First, the stamina. No, let's do the petals first. The petals are going to be the easiest part. So, I'm going to want a purpley sort of rose. We're going to call these black rose petals. I'm pretty sure petal is spelled with a T instead of a D, but oh well. If we put a color ramp on here with 2 colors, one that's more of a true black and one that is more of this purpley, that color right there. We're going to lower the specular and up the sheen and have the sheen tint be really high. The roughness is fine as is. Specular tint is going to be 0.5. Clear coat does not matter. No clear coat. Okay, let's do this thing. So I am thinking we're going to want a wave texture. We want a wave set up to the normal. And we're going to use Z. Y. Let's use Z. And then I'm going to up that distortion just a little bit. Oh, I don't love that. I do not like the way that looks. We'll do object, because that should preserve its flip, shouldn't it? That'll do. Get that real low. Get that detail up. Distortion to like 20. And I'm going to lower the roughness down just a little bit. And we're going to put a little bit of a B-spline between them so it's a little bit more gradual between those colors. There we go. That'll do just fine, I think. Maybe we'll lower that down even more, 0.03. It's close, 0.3. Sure, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, there's a petal, done. Now we grab all of our rose petals and we do that one last. We copy our materials. There she is. There's the beauty. There's a little beauty. Okay. Next up, we're going to add the stamina. I'm kind of inclined just to give it the mushroom material because I kind of think that's going to look really good. That looks pretty good. It kind of looks like worms the more I look at it. Maybe I don't like that. The tentacle is probably fine, so we'll just use the tentacle. And that's our stamina. Done. Okay. So that is the rose. And now we're going to want to finish the last little bit of this guy. So I'm going to grab our rose, everything relating to our rose all together now. And let's pop them on over. There we go. Pop that guy on over, and once more forward. Forward slightly more, there we go. Now we got ourselves a little rose sitting right on the end of that thing. So, last but not least, the end of this thing should be pretty easy. I'm going to make thorns. So if we're looking at it right now, here is our current boy. Not half bad. Not terrible looking. Let's throw on some little thorns here. So let's start with a curve. Always start with a curve on this thing. I'm going to get the object origin as close to here as I can before we get going on it. And let me give it some depth, 0.1, whoa, 0.01, there we go. Now, let's do this. So that's going to go right up in there. Pop this guy on down. The trajectory of this thing is huge for some reason. I don't know why it's so big. There we go. But it should be a pretty easy pull here. Just like that. And now we take you and we pull you up and around here. Push you on down. This piece is what all true rulers strive for. What is that? What is that quote from? Barrel? What was that from? I feel like you're in the middle of a game and you've just quoted a game. There we go, and let's pop you out just a little bit, and then this guy can just follow in. There we go. CDI Zelda, you got it. What are your opinions on the CDI Zelda games? Because they're kind of... I think they really kind of succeed at what they were trying to accomplish. Oh, I kind of want to make a little hole for this to slot into, but we'll just take it one step at a time. Make sure everything here looks correct. Okay, so we got a really long, weird-looking tendril here. We're going to take this and push it right against the edge of the tree right there. And dare I say, that looks pretty good to me. I don't hate that. Okay, next, let's push this forward. So if I curl this around, and we're just very careful of our angles, I should be looking pretty clean. This guy should be able to just move forward by a bit. There we go. Grab you, make sure that you come back enough to the tree that it sits correctly. Okay. Oh, this one's trouble. This one does not want to work correctly. Sure, that'll be it right there. Now, how much further am I going to curl this thing in? I guess we're going to go all the way. Whoa, not what I wanted. It's a good looking rose. Thank you. I don't know if I'm like confident about the rose, but it does its job well enough. It ain't my favorite thing in the world, I'll tell you that. Okay, we're gonna push you back like that. I think we're getting there. Okay, so I'm gonna grab you and we're gonna push it right into the armpit a little bit. And there we go. So that is gonna be my little thorn. Although, the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm like, it might be nice to push it like here. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do one more. We'll do one more. Just like that. Sure, that'll do. Down just a little bit like that. And then we push the last little bit in. And we say that we're about there. And then all I need to do is cap off the last little bit over here. Now, normally, if I were making a real, like, vine, I would have it split off into multiple pieces, but I'm not too worried about that right now. We can sort that out later. There we go. Little beautiful vine going all the way down. Cool. Okay, so now we're gonna make some thorns. As I do a big stretch. Ugh. Okay. Let's go ahead and finish this guy off. So, let's go grab ourselves a few thorns. So, a thorn looks like this. We're gonna grab the whole thing, we're gonna scooch it up. We're going to smush it down. Make it smooth. Smush that down to make it kind of flat. Make it real small, and we're gonna pop him up into here. Can't see him from the inside. Perfect. Okay, now we go for it. So I should be able to just pop into here, throw on a... Oh, I see. Convert you to a mesh real quick. And now, give you hair. How much hair do we want? I think we're gonna want maybe like 40. And the hair is going to render as an object. The object in question is what I just made, which is the cone, which I'm going to call Thorn. This, by the way, is going to be called Rose Vine. And it is going to emit the thorn, which I spelled Theron because I didn't know what I was doing. And now we should have simple rotation on here, which doesn't want to work. Okay, so now we just got to check our thorn and make sure that it works. And I spelled thorn wrong, but we're not going to think about that too much. Okay, what is happening? Why does it look like that? What is going on? You know what? I'm going to pop this guy on over to here just so I can see it really up close and personal. And then I think I can get rid of the emitter, right? Or I could just hit apply and then I don't need to worry about it anymore. So let's do this. Okay, that doesn't work. Why not? So we have to do object rotation. Color me really confused about what's going on here. This is the weirdest puzzle I've ever done. There we go. It doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Okay, so I think we are required to grab this guy and scale him down this way. And we're going to have very traditional looking thorns instead of the crazy one that I was trying to do. So there we go. Thorns. Nice and done. We got thorns. Perfect. Okay, cool. So let's pop on maybe a few more of them. We'll say like 70 is probably a good amount. Now there's thorns all over this guy. We can grab you and just get rid of you. There is no need for you at this point, sir. And then we're going to color it, and then we're done. Okay, so let's go back to our node group. Let's go ahead and color this as tentacles. And then we're going to make a new one. Oh wait, we just grabbed thorn. We just do it on the thorn. Yep, we're gonna call this thorn. And what does a thorn look like? It starts off as green and turns into red. So we're gonna grab a little color ramp. Grab you, go like that. Grab you, grab a nice purpley sort of red. That's perfect. Oh, that looks good. That looks pretty good to me. Okay, so now I can just pop on a gradient. Switch this guy out for an object node. They all track identical, which is good. There we go, 90 degrees. Pop that up just a little bit more. Give it that B-spline that we want. And while we're here, I will copy that color ramp over. And honestly, there is no reason I shouldn't just do this with emission strength and give us a pink. So now they glow just a little bit. Should I do anything else? Sheen? Or a clear coat? Now the tips are like shiny and they glow. I like that. Okay, so that is my rose. It's all right. It looks more like a hibiscus or something, but it's a rose, sure. We got a rose with a little thorny vine going down. And then we got ourselves a little boy and some walking legs and some mushrooms. Pretty confident with that. Can't say I hate it. The only thing I want to do is I want to repaint the inside of this guy, and I need to do rings on the top, but I'm definitely not doing that right now. So I'm going to say that is it. This is one of the first times that I've actually finished a speed sketch in roughly 30 minutes. Who would have thunk it? I really don't hate the way that looks. It's not perfect, but I don't hate it. So we're going to call it there. We're going to say that's about as good as I think I can do. So with that, I will call it. I will see you all on Wednesday. And what I'm making on Wednesday, I don't even know yet. But it'll be something good. I'm feeling kind of in the mood to make some more complicated stuff like this. So we should have some pretty cool stuff coming on Wednesday. So I'll see you all then. Peace out.